Dollar, dollar, dollar. Dirty money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack and flip for my foes. Dollar, 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 dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar, 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 dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yo, what's good, original crew? It's your boy DJ Nuki, your girl.
Sierra Nicole.
We're back on the channel with another
Kid and C original. Look, I
Oh man, welcome back to the channel, man. We got a good one for y'all. We got how not having romantic relationships in school affected your adult life. Who the fuck come up with this title?
That title long.
This title long as bruh, I bet this gonna be mainly girls.
We gonna see.
You like, I can't relate. You like, bro, I've been out here in these streets since I was 12.
Really?
I ain't saying like their streets. I'm saying you was out here playing. Even a pimp got to be in the streets.
Okay, whatever.
So with that being said, before we get into it, make sure y'all check out the links in the description box down below. You already know where to go. If you want to further support, just check down below. Also, we always got to stop and salute to the comment of the day, man. We highly appreciate y'all. Y'all keep running us up. We gonna keep pushing it out and shouting y'all out, man. Also, if you enjoyed today's video, like it with a thumbs up. Or if y'all want to kill me, like it with a thumbs up. She might just do it with your light go. It's very low. Look at that. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. What's your light go? Like 10 lights out. All right, get to Let's get into it, y'all. You ready? All right.
Those of us that were never asked out, never asked to any dances, never were shown any romantic interest.
I've wanted to make a response to this video for such a long time, but I couldn't find it, so I'm super glad I came across it today. First of all, the effect of not having received romantic validation during your formative years, like to the age of 18 or most likely older, cannot be understated. It's very real, and it will mess with you in a very deep, core way. But I actually wanted to talk about how that interacts with dating and entering the dating world as an adult. Dating in the modern age is very casual, but those of us who are late to the game can't treat it as casually as other people can, who have had all of these experiences in like high school and college and stuff. I don't exactly know a great way to put this, but as an example, I know that if I were to receive flowers from someone or be held by them in a romantic way, there's like a 90% chance that I would just start breaking down crying. Ideally, the person you're dating should be able to take everything in stride, but at the end of the day, they're still a stranger, and that's a lot to put on someone that you don't know.
I am requesting that scientists
Bro, if you just a lame in school, or you just a nerd, bro, just say this shit. For real though, cause bro, like, but my thing is,
I got what she was saying.
but a lot of people fantasize of what relationships should be like, and
but that's not what she's saying though.
That is kind of. She was like, if I get the
she,
flowers and stuff, I'm gonna cry because
she was using that as an example because she never got that attention when she was in school. So she said if she went
how many
on a
girls
date,
you know in school were really getting flowers by these
that's
dog
not what
ass niggas?
No, that's not what she said. She said now it's her in her adulthood. If she was to get flowers from someone, she'll just break down because she never got that romantic attention.
How old is she now?
Okay, I'm done.
do a case study on those of us that were never asked out.
So I watched this video and I think it's relatable and her experiences are valid and stuff. But I think it would be even more interesting if the study was in an intersectional lens, meaning how this might affect people of like different races and stuff. I kind of have a theory that like white women who experience this, it's like they actually really kind of expect that type of romantic validation because they see it all around them in their peers and in media. And as a black person though, as a black woman, you often do not see that, especially if you are in an area where there's not other black people. And in mainstream media, there's not a ton of that either. So like you don't even really expect it and you don't necessarily doubt yourself. I mean, you do doubt yourself, but a big part of it is just like, oh, well, I'm not getting this attention because like I'm black. It's because of my skin color, which is an integral part of your identity. It's funny how we don't have to wonder. We're just like, oh yeah, racism.
That were never asked out, never.
I thought she was going a whole different direction.
Yeah.
The direction I thought she was going is because I thought she was going to say because we don't really see it growing up within households because most of us come from a single parent home, whether it be single mom or single dad. So you don't know how a true relationship should be treated because you're not around that a lot. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You like my mama had men that was coming over here and she had her sugar daddy that wasn't getting no sugar. I'm talking about they were gifting her like gifts. I said sugar daddy's not giving no sugar.
I heard what you said.
you had to get your paper from somewhere. You know, it's all down to lineage. You know, right. Playing pills.
As Teddy dances, never were shown any romantic interest whatsoever.
Okay, let's chat about this real quickly. That has been my entire experience, and I'm 24 years old. I remember in high school, I was never invited or asked to any like dances, homecomings, whatever. I never really dated in college. Male interest just isn't something that comes to me. I've never had a boyfriend, etc. Today, I'm completely fine with the fact that I've never had those experiences. But I remember there being a certain point in my life where it's like, wow, this happens for everyone else. Why isn't it happening for me? So I took that as an opportunity to look at myself less than as a woman because I wasn't having these beautiful dating life experiences that everyone else around me was having. And I started to doubt myself and who I was. I've moved out of that thought process and I've realized that that is not the case at all. But those life experiences and not having them really shaped a lot of my thought at one point in time, which wasn't good.
I am requesting that scientists do a case study on those of us that were never asked out.
Who needs a scientist when you've got your dad? For real, I'ma just tell you what my dad said, and he's not wrong. I brought this up a few weeks ago, and I was like, man, I ain't never been asked out on a date. I still don't have a boyfriend. He said, it's because you have independent bitch energy. Not gonna lie, I was a little offended at first, but then he explained it as basically, you're a boss-ass bitch. He said, you have independent energy, like it's written on your forehead. You don't even have to say it for men to know. And men are not attracted to that. Men want women that will take care of them. They can literally sniff out if you are independent. So they steer clear. And you know what? I ain't even mad because I'm not trying to take care of a grown-ass toddler for the rest of my life. You can get that from your mama. You was not getting it from me.
She come out very harsh and aggressive, like. But let me say this from a male perspective, because I say it like this: in some situations, because we just had this kind of this type of conversation the other day. Sometimes it might not be that something's wrong with you. Maybe it's the fact that I'm talking about from the woman's perspective.
I'm listening.
I'm saying maybe the guys that really probably would be the right one for you are kind of intimidated or afraid to approach you because they don't know how. You know what I'm saying? Because some dudes, they just like, man, I'm already get to know, so I ain't even gonna try. And those might be the right ones. And hopefully it comes along later on in life again, but you never know. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of guys, most guys who develop confidence, most of the time at a younger age, by the time they get in college, graduate high school, they don't be shit. Yeah. You know, the boys on the basketball team, football star, they don't be shit. Yeah. And they're the ones who be having all the confidence.
Yeah.
But the ones who later develop their confidence later in life, most of the time be successful. You know what I'm saying? They be, you know what I'm saying? They be getting them coins.
That scientists do a case study on those of us that were never asked out.
When I went away to college, I was so nervous because I had never been on a date, never been asked out, never asked to dance, let alone to a dance. And now I'm 26, and all of that is still true. Now, most days this doesn't really bother me, but some days it really fucking does. If you didn't already know, I'm asexual, which can make dating difficult. And a big part of me doesn't even want to try. The internalized misogynistic and fat-phobic part of me says, why would they want you now if they didn't even want you when you were younger and skinny? And then the ace part of me goes, girl, this is a good thing. You don't want to deal with their needs. Still, human beings crave connection, and when you're overlooked by your peers for the vast majority of your life, it can feel like a hacksaw straight to your self-esteem. It becomes really easy to pick apart everything that could maybe be wrong with you. But there's nothing wrong with you. All those people that have been overlooking you just aren't ready to be with somebody as special as you are. And when somebody is, remember that your worth was there the whole time, even without them.
I am requesting that scientists do a case study on those of us that were never asked out, never asked to any dances, never were shown any romantic interest whatsoever.
Doll, can we have a little chat about this when I'm catching my breath on this hike? Because boy, I watched this video and there are so many of you that can relate to what she said. Let me see if I can bring a little bit of understanding to what she's talking about. Because during those developmental years, middle school, high school, even college, if our experiences are such that we are never desired, that we're never wanted, that we're not shown any of that attention, especially from the people that we are attracted to, then we determine things about ourselves such as something's wrong with me or I'm not the kind that is desired. And here's the interesting thing. We treat those as if they're fact. And then we base our life going forward based on those facts. So yeah, why would I expect someone to flirt with me if I already feel like something's wrong with me? Why would I desire to be in a relationship long term if that never seemed like an option? You have to keep in mind, our brain is wired for survival. You know, if you want a part 2 on how we can start changing that.
Those of us that were never asked.
You feel that?
Yeah.
She gave a therapeutical answer to that because I read her name. It said, so my mom's a therapist. I was like, oh, she coming from a therapeutical standpoint. But how you feel? You feel like, let me ask you this. Do you feel as though this is possibly one reason why a lot of women are more like single? Like you that 25 age group that's looking for,
I can't really speak on that or the mass majority. What I'm saying. I can't really speak on that or the mass majority because some people are single for far more, like, other reasons.
Yeah.
Than, just because they were maybe overlooked or whatever the case. Or
I'm saying like because they were overlooked, so they more focused on themselves more than interacting with people. Because you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
Like because they done went to college, because growing up they always focused on themselves. And they education, then they go to college, they kind of have that same mindset. Now they out of school trying to focus on their career path. They trying to focus on...
I get what you're saying. I'm just saying I don't want to like give my opinion about that because every person probably is like look at it different or they reason, so I can't speak for them, I can only speak for myself in that situation.
I'm saying maybe, your friends, some of your friends. Maybe they you like, hey.
Never asked to any dances, never were shown any romantic interest.
Hello, I would love to join your support group, and I also have some thoughts about this. Having the experience of never being desired when I was younger just makes me realize how I internalized so many things about myself that weren't true or just didn't matter. Like so many of my thoughts were consumed by, am I not pretty enough? Am I not interesting enough? Am I not smart enough? Am I not funny enough? And not just enough for men, but just in general, was I enough? And as I've gotten older, I've gotten over that, but it's just interesting to me to just sit back and reflect and think about how I really believed that I wasn't enough of a human being just because people weren't desiring me romantically. Like that just so isn't true, and it's crazy how we internalize those things about ourselves. Another consequence of the whole never being desired thing is like now that I'm older, being in a relationship is just not a priority to me because my whole life it's never felt like an option that I've had. I'll probably make a part 2 because I have a lot more thoughts, but that's just it for now. I definitely understand this. I think another consequence of the whole never being desired when you were younger situation is not knowing how to interpret flirting versus being nice. So I always assumed and still do that nobody could ever like me. So if anybody's ever expressing interest in me, it has to be a joke. So I get pretty dismissive as like a defense mechanism. But at the same time, there's also this consequence of easily getting attached to anybody who gives you attention because it just feels so rare, like you're never gonna get it again. So I think lots of people experience varying degrees of this. I have definitely noticed myself in unhealthy situations, even though I've never actually been in a relationship before. Wow, isn't romantic trauma so much fun? But I'm thankful for all my trauma because it helped me develop a sense of humor, so it was worth it.
Those of us that were never...
what were you going to say?
No, I was going to say, she kind of answered what I was... in the first half, she kind of answered my question that I had.
Oh, okay.
What you finna say?
No. That's what I was going to pause it, but I didn't know she had a second part, too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, she kind of answered your question. But what I'm saying, personally...
I'm saying...
I can't sit up here and really answer that question
without going through it yourself.
That's what I'm saying.
I got you.
And I don't want to say it like that, but yeah, like I can't answer the question.
Yeah.
You know, I can't speak for a majority of people.
Yeah.
You know, if that's not something that I personally may have experienced, then I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, well, have I experienced it before? So now I'm like really thinking, like in my head.
Girl, you know how many dudes you had and try to holler at you in school. You know, you've just discovered all your little notes.
Oh
the other day. So quit kids. I'm joking, bruh. So chill.
Okay.
You know, hey, this kind of like a podcast talk right now. Like,
but yeah. That's the reason why I didn't want to answer, because it was not something that I could
personally speak on.
Yeah, personally speak on.
I guess. I understand.
Asked out, never asked any dances, never were shown any romantic interest.
Yes, it does. I can confirm because I'm 27 and have never been properly asked out or even taken out on a date. Ever. Not in junior high, which, you know, that's not really legit, but whatever. Not in high school, not in college, not in the year that I've been in grad school. It just hasn't happened, and it's definitely fucked with my head because I have a lot of social anxiety from being isolated and excluded socially and not being shown affection in the same way that my peers were, and I don't know how long that's gonna take to unlearn, and it actually makes me even more anxious than I already am.
I am requesting that scientists do a case study on those of us that were never asked out.
No, because I want to keep talking about this because I'm now just processing all of this information in my head. Using myself as a case study, here's some conclusions I've come to. Obviously made me super insecure about my looks and personality, even though I always had people tell me, oh, you're so pretty, why don't you have a boyfriend? And then that oddly made me more insecure as well, that comment. Reflecting on it now, literally never being asked to a dance. Like, I deserve to be asked to prom. Like, showing up to prom pictures with a huge group of people and being the only one there without a date, low-key traumatizing. Now, as a 22-year-old, I still have no idea when someone's flirting with me. I just assume people are being nice to me, and then I'll have, like, friends be like, oh, no, they're flirting with you. I have no idea, because that's just not a common occurrence for me. I never even had a talking stage or, like, hugged someone romantically until my sophomore year of college. And now I'm so disinterested in romantic relationships. Like, it doesn't even cross my mind or is, like, on my agenda for life. I can go my whole life without a romantic relationship, I believe.
Tell me you're a mod.
Yo, and
oh gosh,
this kind of
because
this is like a podcast talk.
Yeah, because I do have thoughts and opinions,
but you don't want to speak on it in return of saying some incorrect information.
What time is it? Yeah, like I have so many opinions because although you sit here, you know, jokingly say, "Girl, you had all these whatever," yeah. I can still, in some sense, like especially what she said at the end, because even like I was always told, like, "Hey, you know, you pretty, you this, whatever," yeah. But at the same time, when people used to say it, I used to be like, kind of like brush it off or whatever the case may be, or like she said, look, I don't want to say that. Never mind. Look, look, y'all, I'm stuttering because I know what I'm trying to say, but then I don't want to offend you at the same time.
No, my whole thing is, dudes go through it too, and I just hate that. For one, after going into it, I'm like, I wish a guy was up there speaking on it, because I feel like a guy could also relate, but don't want to admit that they can relate. And that's the thing with guys.
I wish we had more time. And sorry if I was stuttering, y'all. I was trying to my thoughts was running, and then I wanted to say something, and I didn't want to.
Well, let me say this. If y'all made it to this point, if y'all want more of a sit down conversation like a podcast out. But we're not doing a podcast, just a sit-down conversation where we really can touch on this subject matter. Let us know in the comment section down below. We can be able to do that over there on the main channel. Well, not the main, our couples channel, because we're finna get that started back up very, very soon. And I think that will be dope to have conversation like this.
I like that, yeah.
we're a real couple. Why not?
Yeah.
Why don't couples have real conversations about relationships and things when it comes down to relationships instead of just doing pranks and
because I have so many thoughts and so many opinions, but we don't have a lot of time, and I
maybe
don't want
we
the
can do
video
like viewer
to be like
topics.
long. Yeah, we could do something like that.
Yeah, y'all let us know in the comment section down below. We'll most definitely get that to y'all. I got a lot I could say on it too, but man, with that being said, y'all know how it go, man. I do go by the name DJ New Kid. This is
Sierra Nicole.
We are y'all.
Ain't no time to kick it, got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar, 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 dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar, 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 dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Get my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.